being in a relationship or having someone like new that you get really close with over time, you get to teach them what you're like and like tell them stories and like your lore. You get pieces from them of their lore, and it helps you think like, what story do I tell myself about myself? And is it just a story that I like because it gets attention when I tell it, or is it something that I'm actually like identifying as? Like, do I think that that story is who I am? So you kind of get to discover more about who you are while you're with a partner, because as you like, everyone loves to talk about themselves. So as you're like talking about yourself and you get to a point where you're like, yeah, when I was younger, I was kind of like this type of kid, and I didn't really get into a lot of trouble, but I did party a lot. And I just wonder, like, so that's what I would say about myself. Is that story keeping me boxed in as like, okay, that's what the past was. It's tied up in a bow. You don't have to look at it anymore. Or should I dissect it and see if that story is like relevant to what I think of myself as? Like, is that what I want to share with people? Is that what I want them to think of me? Why is that the story that was picked to be told and that you stuck with? Because you've probably told this story a lot to like all the coworkers you meet, anybody new out and about. You're like, if I had to sum me up, and someone's like, so what are you about? Like, what do you do? And then you give your spiel. Like, everybody has a spiel that they give. But what if you'd just been giving that spiel for so long that you don't even relate to it anymore? I think Paul Rudd talked about this. He was like, I was telling this story so often that I didn't even know if that was really what happened. Like, I think I just, over time, started changing the story. Like, as you go, when you play that game, like what is it? You whisper in the person in front of you's ear a phrase, and then they say it to the next person. Telephone. It's like, the more you tell it, the more it changes. I don't even know if the original story was anything like what I'm telling. You know? So I just think that it's so cool to like have somebody that is kind of forced to like learn about you and be like a captive audience. And you get to ask them questions about like what they're thinking of your story. You're like, does that seem like me? Based off what you've seen so far. And they're like, no, not really. And you're like, I don't even know where I got that story from. But I've told it a lot. So I felt like I was talking for so long, and it's only been 4.5 minutes. My heart is pounding. This is my first time, like, well, I've been trying to talk on camera more, but it's usually like into my mic. I have a little mic that I bought. I don't know why I bought. Do I need a mic? Probably not. There's plenty of YouTubers that are doing fine without it. But I thought, like, let me buy everything so that when I'm ready to film, I have it. And there's no excuses. Because I was, like, procrastinating a lot. But I like talking and hearing my own voice. So this is a fear that I need to overcome. And you'll have to tell me what you think so far. Like, do I seem nervous? Because I am. Let me take a couple deep breaths. Did you know that breathing deeply 3 times in a row actually releases like a signal to your brain to, like, you know, chill out? That's the scientific term. It also doesn't help that I am drinking coffee. This tells you where I went to college. The University of Delaware. And I just have this at all times because it's like my comfort mug. This and a couple others. I'll like rotate between them. You'll see them if you stick around. And I also make a lot of weird faces because of how nervous I am. I've been told I'm very expressive. So I'm not the only one that thinks I'm good at talking and like telling stories. Other people have told this to me. Yeah. So I'm just trying to get, like, you know, used to. That's someone walking around upstairs. Well, not someone. My boyfriend, Tim. I'm embarrassed to, like, have him see me film, so if I suddenly turn off the video, he came downstairs. Maybe I should conquer that fear too and just like stay filming even if somebody comes into the room. Because it's bound to happen eventually. What are you going to do? Like stop filming in the middle of your... You know, you got to push through and be like, hello? Yeah, I'm filming. So what?